Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. So happy you decided to stop in while we talk about, and while I try on for the first time, the e.l.f. Sculpting Silk Eyeshadow Palette in Rosé All. I was in Target, I saw that this was a new product. I was very tempted to get a couple of other palettes. I've heard so many good things about it, but I figured since I'm sort of in a massive palette overload for me, I just wanted to actually simplify things for myself for a little bit. So I picked up the e.l.f. Mini palette in Rosé All. It comes in a little box like this. The only thing that was tricky is, you know, the boxes, I didn't know how truthful they were going to be. They looked kind of like taupey nudes, so I was wondering where the rosé came in. I was hoping it had pretty intense, not intense, but a very obvious, I think rosé, I think a little bit of a pink to it. So anyways, I took a chance. It was only $4, so I figured what could go wrong. There are 5 color options. There's one that's called Brown Beauties, Rosé All Day, Smoke Showstopper, Fierce Blue, and Berry Please. Please one looked very purpley. The blue, you know, actually I'm gonna go ahead and insert a picture somewhere around here so you can see the other color options. But $4, you can't really go wrong. They have mattes and shimmers in the palette of 3, so I wasn't too sure if it was always going to be 1 shimmer or 2 mattes, if that's going to be the same with all of the little mini palettes. This one has 1 shimmer and 2 mattes. I'm hoping and assuming all the other little mini palettes function the same way. And another thing about e.l.f. is that they are vegan and cruelty free. So, not to mention affordable, easily accessible, and pretty great. Now, I will tell you, I do have the look on my eyes right now that I created with this palette and this palette alone, the exception of a little bit of highlight in my inner corner from my highlighter. That wasn't in this little palette, but this is the finished look that I got with it, and I think it's pretty amazing. One thing that I will mention is I got a lot of impact by wetting the brush, and it kind of looks pink, but I think on my eyes it has more of a pinky coppery kind of a tone to it. It reminds me more of a sunset-ish kind of color. This deep color right here is kind of like a purpley brown, and this is a very neutral nude kind of overall shade color for the eye. So I'm going to go ahead and swatch this for you on my arm right there. So what I'm going to actually do also is I'm going to, where is my brush? Put some Fix Plus on it. And you know what I see everybody doing? Just total side note. You get your Fix Plus, you want to, you know, make your shimmer shade have more impact, so you're just spraying into the air and wasting product. This pump will dispense a tiny little droplet. I don't even know if you can see it. That tiny little droplet, that's all you need to get your brush damp. So stop wasting your product. You spend a lot of money on it. So here we go. It's a little bit damp. Picking up the product on the bristles, and I'm going to go ahead and put it, let's see, here it is. Dampened. So I think it kind of, you know, oddly enough, it looks pretty much exactly the same on my swatch, but trust me, on the eye, it gives a lot more impact. So that's it for that. Here is the e.l.f. little mini palette, Sculpting Silk Eyeshadow. Sounds so fancy with the word silk in it. We've got 3 colors. It'll get you out of the door really fast in the morning, and it'll give you a lot of great impact. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to insert a video somewhere up here or maybe up here, not too sure where that's going to end up, but I'm just going to insert a clip of me applying the eyeshadow. Let's see, as I mentioned, I used the lightest color all over the lid and particularly in the crease. So you'll see me doing that too. I'm just showing you the video with me applying it to one eye. I do this all over the lid, and I do this in the outer corner. I had a little bit of trouble blending it out, but I also, I'm not too sure why I did, but when I did the second eye, it blended out a lot better. So it could have just been me when I was doing that, but there was a little bit of fallout that fell onto my cheek and it landed right there. But when you're seeing me in the video, I don't have my foundation on because I was planning for the possibility that there might be fallout in the palette. So I waited to do the rest of my face makeup until after I did my eyes. So this shadow went on, I blended it kind of out here and a third in and into the crease. I also smudged that down below here on the corner. But before I laid that one down, I brought this color all the way along the bottom of my lash line. I just realized I forgot to put mascara on the bottom lashes. We're gonna fix this right now. Okay, back to eye makeup. Where were we? Okay, so I smudged the lightest color all along the bottom of the lash line. Then I followed up with a little bit of the deeper color just on the outer portion. And then I used that just kind of all over to blend the edges a little bit further. So yeah. Okay, so here we have it. I have a final look put together for you. I've got my foundation, everything else that you normally put on your face when you're getting ready. It is on my face, and the eyeshadow is this main attraction for me right now. I must admit, I was a little hesitant when I applied it. The one thing that I will follow up by saying is the shimmer shadow in the middle. This one right here, it goes on dry, it goes on well, but I do suggest that you get your brush wet. I don't know if you can use water or not, but I used a little bit of Fix Plus spray from MAC and I wet the brush, then I applied it, and the color just sort of came alive. Let me go ahead and zoom you in here. So you can kind of see right here, that is the shimmer in the middle. And I initially applied it dry, and then once I finished everything, I felt it didn't have enough punch, so I wet the brush, I went into the shade in the middle, and then that is the finished effect that I got. This is like kind of a plummy brown, so it's got a little bit of a purple undertone to it. That is on the outer corner, and then I kind of used this as the crease shade, and I kind of put it all over the lid and used it to blend out. This one had a little bit of fallout on my face when I applied it, but that's not a big deal. What I've kind of determined, and the reason why I bought this little palette, is we get these big palettes with however many colors to choose from, and sometimes in the morning when I am getting ready for work, I need to move fast. But when I open the palette and I see all the colors, I'm like, oh, what about this one? Ooh, what about that one? What if I put this one on the lid? What if I put that one in the crease? What if I put this underneath the eye? And all of a sudden, when I've allocated like 10 minutes to put my makeup on, it is 30 minutes later, and that does not bode well for my time clock check-ins. So it's 3 shades. So this restricts where my attention goes. It's 1, 2, 3. Put the colors on, get out the door. There's no what about this, what about that, and what colors should I pair together. It just is what it is. Use these 3 colors, put them on your eyes, and be done with it. The only thing I'm a little bit bummed about is that there's no mirror. I mean, that would have been a nice touch, but I know that would have increased the price. So when you're thinking about traveling, you'll need to make sure you bring something else that has a decent sized mirror in it if you'd like to work with a bigger mirror. If you are not fussy about what size mirror you use, and you can use a little compact mirror holding different things in your hands, I think this is a great little travel eyeshadow palette. because it will save you so much space and you get a really great look. You can smoke it out some more by using that deeper color. You can do a very light neutral day look by not wetting the brush. So I do think there are some great options, and it'll keep you out of trouble. So I think this is going to be a great palette for me for the mornings when I need to get out of the door. I cannot spend 30 minutes putting on eyeshadow looks and I can't get distracted by stuff. I do appreciate you being here. I'm so glad you stuck around. And if you'd like to see another video whenever I upload next, just don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you again here soon. Alright, with that said, I hope you have a great day or evening wherever you are. Take care. Bye.